Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and join me here once again in Computer Tycoon, and we're looking at the world map to see which of the 8 competing computer companies who is holding sway in the most and the biggest of countries. Well, it looks a bit like the Green Company, and yes, that is Prodec. That's the Professor Slade's own company. That's my company. We are currently standing from the tip of Canada and Alaska all the way across the globe to New Zealand. We currently have over 78% of all the computer sales in the world. Nobody is competing with us, really. Well, they're trying to, but they're simply not doing very well. Our little dominancy chart, I do quite enjoy looking at this chart, not because I'm standing proud above all these others. Well, actually, yes, exactly that. I'm standing astride the competition, and they're scrabbling around for little bits. The only serious competitor at the moment is Raj Kumar from Brutal Data, the red company on the map. And I've been generally tackling his countries, his markets, over the last episode or so, over the last year or two. And I think I might just take another one. You may notice we left at the end of the last episode. I still have 1.7 logistics points to spend. So that's wasted, really. There's no need to have that sat in my bank. So let's go and spend it. And I've already had a quick look at the available countries. Country I'm not selling into, and it is open to us. We can move in there. So it's an open country. And I've sorted them by population because the more people there are there, the more people likely to buy our computers. We are running, however, out of really rich countries. Yeah, there are very few of those, and they either have relatively small populations, like, for example, who can I point at as an example here? Nobody. Israel, 4 million, that sort of thing. Or they have very high taxation rates, which we'll get to in this episode. Yeah, so what I'm happy to do now is move into a poorer country with a really relatively low taxation rate, and I'm looking at Yugoslavia, the country formerly known as Yugoslavia. Obviously, in 1977, it was still one moderately open communist state, if I remember my history correctly. So yes, stop waffling. Let's buy some resellers there. So that's that done. We have also completed research on the composite monitor. So I don't need that there anymore, do I? Which is up here somewhere. It's data projection. There is the composite monitor, which gives us a new display option, basically a TV. So rather than me supplying a set of blinking lights or a very simple glass teletype screen, my lovely customers can just simply plug my computers into their TVs, which means the cost of that has gone down dramatically. So I've now gone through and added the latest hardware components. We've also, quite a few months ago, completed the ATA research, so we've got that. We've also got command line interfaces now for our operating system. So I've got a new operating system and the new VDU. So I mean, if you look at the cost column here, so if we compare this VDU 77 with the previous one, look at that, 59 manufacturing points required compared to 14 as it is now. The operating system has gone up slightly in price. There is from 2.5 to 2.6. Now the disk drive actually went down as we moved from SCSI to ATA, but that has meant I can actually increase the capacity of the drive from 510 kilobytes to 600 kilobytes. I'm still way ahead of the competition as we speak. Now while I'm here, let's have a look at our queue, see what's coming up. We're about to research, well, we've just about started researching the mouse. Done that for a day, really. Coming up is BIOS with jumpers, the 6 micron manufacturing technology, which will reduce my manufacturing costs again significantly. What else is coming up that's relatively cheap? The modular computer design doesn't really help me so much at the moment, but it does lead into the PC generation of computers. We're going to put that to one side for the moment, although it is very cheap to research. I want to get something that's actually useful immediately, and I'm thinking the Sprite Accelerator chip will be one of those. Apparently it accelerates the drawing of sprites. Gosh, would never have thought of that. So let's add that in. Now we need to actually go to the research tree to see what that actually does. Now I always have trouble finding things on this tree because it's just too big. There's just so much to research here, so it should be highlighted in that lovely pale blue colour. There is a sprite accelerator chip. There you go. It'll take about 81 days at my current level of research, and that'll give me a performance boost basically for my video cards, which is nice to have. And that leads into all sorts of other sort of graphical interface options, TV adapters and so on. Right, so where are we going? We've got Yugoslavia now, so we can move forward on that, but the best thing I think at this point is to build my new computer. So let's take ProDeck 76.1, the one we built last year, and let's create another one based on our latest technology. Oh, at the moment, ease of use, yikes, Brutal are slightly ahead of me. I'm not sure if I'll catch up with them with this one. We shall see. So let's take our existing computer. Let's copy this design. We're only changing a few things in it. This will be the first computer of 1977. We may get a second one. Depends how much research we can do. We can add another accessory to it, which is the microphone. So we'll do that. The removable media, that hasn't changed, I don't think. No, it hasn't. Go back. The power supply, the storage has changed. As you can see, it's a bit cheaper and it's got more capacity. Just double click on that. That's good. The display, that has changed. We've now got our very cheap VDU. Oh, that does give me a boost in ease of use. So that should take me over Brutal data for their current model anyway. So we'll certainly add that. And the new operating system. Again, actually a nice boost in ease of use. Excellent. So I will certainly be back on top in that particular category as well. We're going to leave our pricing pretty much as is. It's served us well so far, I think. Marketing, have we got anything new in here? Oh yes, we learnt from our previous model that capacity apparently isn't too important to our current markets, our current users, so we'll reduce the importance of that in marketing. Those two are good. Again, we'll go back to a medium. We'll probably outsell our manufacturing capacity when we release it, so we don't need to spend big money on marketing rather immediately. Release. Yeah, let's go test it, shall we? It's going to cost me 5 million. I've only got 622 million in the bank. I think I can afford it.
Your new computer model went into the testing phase.
That's excellent. Now, the other thing that I want to do is increase my marketing discount. And I also want to tackle the tax rate in the States. Now, this is a pro tip from all the other players of the game who work at harder difficulties. Just a reminder, in case you're new to the series, I've started this game in normal difficulty. But if you want to get ahead in the harder and the pro difficulty levels, then you need to tackle the taxation rate. And the taxation rate in the US is high. It's my biggest country, I think, with the biggest or the highest taxation rate. So I want to tackle that. The way we can do that is by putting a skilled accountant into a US site. Now, I don't currently have a site in the US, so we're going to need to build one, which I can do quite easily because, as we've seen, I've got quite a bit of money in the bank. So that's just down to 3 million to build that. So we'll start that. We'll build. It's a rich country, so we could actually put a fairly cheap lab in here for an extra research point. I get my player bonus, which is what I set up at the beginning of this game. I get a wealth bonus of 10% discount because it's a rich country. So we'll build that. We'll build marketing as well because I like having a discount on my marketing costs because they're getting high now.
Your new computer model is polished.
Ooh, we finished polishing our new computer. Excellent. And I'll also build an office in here, which will give me an extra 10% discount on all the other buildings that I'm putting in here. So we'll do that. That is good. So let's go back to our computer, which has just finished testing. And yeah, we're top dog in every category now. Now, one other pro tip which we mentioned last time was, ooh, things have happened. Right, so we'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, so one of the other pro tips we got from the other players of the game, which I mentioned last time, was it can be useful, particularly again in the harder difficulties, to release your computer immediately after one of your main competitors releases theirs, because every computer gets a real surge of interest, a surge in demand, let's get my words out straight, when it's first released, and then it drops off. We've seen that happen here. It drops off quite quickly after a few days on the shelves of the computer shops. So we could do that, or we could simply say, I can't be bothered waiting. I've got a fabulous new computer. I want that money now. So we'll do that in a second. But what I want to do first, so we won't release it just yet. We'll come back and do that in a moment. I've got the game on pause, I think, because this has come in. This is me, Professor Slade, with my huge charisma skill, 45 out of 100. I've accrued an extra number of fans for my computers by doing a tour and creating an educational program for universities across the world. Now, fans will pretty much buy my computers whatever they cost. They will always buy my computers. So they're a safe bet for getting money. So we'll do that. We'll OK on that, which means that I don't have any job to do at the moment. Now, what I'm thinking is, if we look at my skills, charisma is my best skill. Espionage is okay, but seeing as I believe I'm pretty much ahead of my competitors, they might have one or two technologies that I don't yet have, but they won't be that far ahead. So I'm not sure that espionage will be terribly helpful to me at this point. Later in the game, if any of them do catch up and overtake me, then I may well use espionage to attempt to steal any of their technologies, any of their research. My other skill is accounting. That is why I've just built the site, or I'm in the process of building this site in the US, so that I can take over the accounting task in the US of A. And we'll see what difference that makes once we get that up and running. So let's go back to the world. Oh, we can actually release our computer now, can't we? And I've discussed that, which is all I wanted to do. So we'll market our computer. There you go. We'll go to our customers tab, and we will just see how many people buy it. 8,000, and our demand quite isn't outstripping our production need at the moment. And we're losing money because the marketing costs are increased substantially by 320,000, because we've now got 2 machines on the marketplace, one of which, the old machine, isn't selling very well. 100 machines in the last day. No, we're going to archive that one. Yep, so we're not selling you, which means that we won't have that marketing uptick here, so we don't have that other 300 extra cost.
Your building upgrade has completed.
We've got the laboratory. Oh, we're getting back into the positive numbers.
Your building upgrade has completed.
Thank you. We've now got a site in the US, which means I can do what I want to do next. Now, at the moment, we've got 4.6 research points. We're earning over $780,000 a day, even though in the US our taxation rate is 44%. It's a rich country, and we are selling. Actually, we can see how many we're selling in the US. If I go back to the map, so if I go here, not Suriname, if I go here to the US, we've got our little pie chart here. I can, oh my goodness, I've actually sold 60,000 machines. Yikes, against the, that is a very tiny sliver. Someone else is in there. Can I, oh, big computer, are selling 315. Yikes, so out of that 60,000 machines I've sold, and I get, in a rich country, $4,000 profit. And I imagine my tax cut there is 50% or more. So I'm losing half of that $4,000 every computer I sell. So if I put an accountant in the US, how much of that am I going to claw back? So let's go to my office. Let's go to this idle chap here, who is me, who's got 31% accounting skill. So if I set this task to be an active task, not an active task, it's a passive task of tax optimization. So this will decrease the market's tax, not the reseller cut, but the government sales tax, by 1 point for each of my percentage points here. So that 44% tax rate in the US should be reduced by 31%. That's good, isn't it? So let's do that. Tax optimization into the US of A. The tax rate is currently 44%, down to 13. Let's see what that does to my income. 1,700,000. 1,800,000. I'm making so much more money now. That is why the pro tip is, if you're selling into a big tax country like the US, any of the rich countries basically, then you should put an accountant in there, 2 million a day, to recoup all that money, to maximise the profitability. I said at the beginning of this series, it wasn't a big deal, and I still believe that. In the very first months, the first year or two of the game, the important thing is to get out there and sell computers and make money. If you have to sell into relatively high tax countries, do that. As long as you can sell into them, that's good. But once you're beyond that, then yeah, obviously the tax cut is a big bonus. Now what I want to do is I can now sell into more countries. I've got so much money to spend. So what I want to do is, no, back in the US. But we go back to the US, I can build another logistics office here. So only another 9 grand. Yeah, don't build another factory. I could increase my marketing level as well, actually, here. Yeah, increase my office. Yeah, do that. Okay, that's good. Ooh. Okay, we've now got another report from our whoever you are. Yeah, you're one of our fourth manager, our marketing manager. That's who you are. It tells me there, marketing. Okay, Logan Taylor has reported that Space Cruiser, our new exclusive, is finished, and according to pre-release reviews, is going to be a huge success, a real gem. 90 feature points. Oh my goodness. Now, I think I said in the last episode when we were looking at this, I'm not entirely sure where this applies, what this means to us. But I suspect it actually applies to, I think I read this on the server, on the Discord server somewhere. It applies to the software.
Your building upgrade has completed.
But I may be wrong.
Your building upgrade has completed.
I may be entirely wrong. So that's very useful, I think. Yeah. So we're getting 90 feature points from somewhere. Excellent. So we have now also done the research on the mouse. So I'm in the wrong screen. I want to be on this screen. Let's go back to our queue. Okay, so we've got the mouse. That's another accessory. That's fine. We'll put that in when we need it. BIOS with jumpers is coming up next. Do I want to change the order of any of these? We've got the alkaline batteries. The battery thing, I tend to leave this behind because if we look here, alkaline batteries, if we click on that, it's not used until we get to portable computers. Nickel cad, NiCad batteries, lithium ion, none of them are used until you get into the portable computer generation, into that era. And we're nowhere near that, so I don't think we need to worry about those at all. We can pick those up later, I hope, when we get into the portable era, when we want to move into that era anyway. What can we do? What do we have in the queue here? The TV interface adapter, that could be good. Okay, we'll add that. We'll add modular computer design. We'll put that there for the moment. EEPROM. Oh, let's add the Isobus. Ooh, where does that come from? If we add you, are you dependent on something else? There you are. The Isobus. Ah, that's based upon the modular computer. Ah, okay. So it is worth doing this before you get to PCs. So the Isobus gives us a 50% feature improvement, and that applies to motherboards and video cards. Yeah, that's good. We'll want that. Yeah, so definitely, yeah, modular computer design. I shouldn't have discounted it. It is useful to us. So actually, okay, if we move you up, we'll move you up. I think we'll go to the 8080 first, Then we'll go to the modular computer design, and then we can get the isobus in there. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, my mind may change. We may make different decisions later down the line according to how well we're doing in selling our computers. I'm back over 80% sales. I've got another logistics point to play with. There are a couple of countries in Europe I'm not selling into. They're all quite high tax countries. I'm not going to go to the UK because of that. It's not a big enough market, perhaps, as the US. Ireland, again, a big market. No, it's not big enough, but the tax is high. What about Switzerland? High tax. These are all very high tax countries. Belgium. No, we'll leave Europe to these other companies. They can worry about that. Yeah, all these are high tax. I think I can afford to go to lower tax countries. So let's have a look at our market list. Big countries we can go to. Egypt. I want to avoid poverty if I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, the biggest countries here are either poverty or rich, and the rich will have high tax rates, which I'm now in a mind to avoid. Bangladesh, we could try there. Again, it's another brutal data country. Or Egypt, which is a slightly higher tax rate. Okay, we'll go to Bangladesh, I think. So we'll put a point in there. There you go. In the office. We need to give Logan something to do. Let's pause this for a second. Charisma, marketing, okay. More marketing. I don't think there is a passive marketing task, is there really? Accounting isn't great. Manufacturing isn't great. No. I'm tempted to get rid of him, but I need to do that. I'll need to take myself out of the tax optimization task, which I'm not going to do. However, if we look at... Actually, Logan has better charisma skills. Now, in 1978, which is 7 months away, we will get another bigger office. And the question is, will we get another space? We won't. We'll still be stuck with 4 managers. Okay, right, we're going to have to keep him doing the marketing thing unless I send him out to find a replacement for himself. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, so what can we do here? Video games, software licenses, spreading lies. That takes 1 million. It takes quite a while as well. We could do that. We could do that, and that will lose fans. I don't think they're selling enough. I don't think that's a competitive thing we need to worry about. So I will look for more software things, I think. Yeah, we'll look for a new software license. It'll take 160 days. That's fine. It doesn't cost us anything, but it does give him something to do. Now, can we actually get some more logistics points? Let's have a look. Can we go into more countries? So, everywhere's got a level 3 logistics office, apart from the US. Okay, we've got a level 2 office in the US now, so we can build a level 2 logistics. It's only going to cost me 40 grand a day. I can afford that, I think, especially if I add in a level 3 office. I can do that. Actually, marketing, I could increase my marketing spend here. That's not expensive going up to level 2 in these other countries. Again, the bonus from that is going to be reducing my big marketing spend, which, as we've seen... Oh, Carlos has leveled up. I'll come and deal with you in a second, my friend. We don't need to look at our old machines. Go away. Yeah, because our marketing spend is currently 4 million. If we can reduce that by another few percent, that would be very handy. Okay, Carlos, you've leveled up. So you are logistics. You are our logistics man. We could keep pumping that, I think. Yeah, another logistics point for you.
Your building upgrade has completed.
Excellent. So we've now got nearly 3.9 logistics points. Where should we spend those, I think? Oof. How are we doing? We've got nearly 81% of the market. I want to... The thing is, if I target one of these very small players, like, for example, whoever this purple person is, I can't even see their name. The share of the market is so small. Who are you? You'll be Forsha. Are you Forsha or Afari? I think a very good question. I've no idea who you are. So if I come here, you're Forsha. Okay. Ooh, you've just... Ooh, spooky. You've just released a new machine. How do you compare to mine? Really? You don't. Apart from being really, really cheap. Okay. So, yeah, I think if we tackle Forsha, what I'm thinking is if we tackle one of the smallest players, can we force them into bankruptcy? Which, of course, might give Brutal a way to keep going. It'll give them space in the market as well, perhaps. It is so tough. It is so tough to choose sometimes. But let's have a look. So that's Brutal. Where are Forsha in here? We're looking here for the purple colour. Nepal. Oh, that's blue. Yeah. It'd be nice if you could scroll down in the main data panel as well, just using the mouse scroll wheel, but you can't. You could scroll on the slider or drag it. But it'd be nice if you could do it within the panel itself. No, I think I'm just going to go big countries, and that basically means targeting, once again, our friends at Brutal Data. So let's go to Egypt. Let's put a point in there. 1 point will do very nicely, thank you. We're not going to go to these rich countries. That tax rate is... Oh, can I? Can I? The profit is so good, that's the trouble in those rich countries. No, we'll go to South Africa. I think you're a nice cheap country to go into. There you go. Let's keep...
Your building upgrade has completed.
Splendid. Okay, we're selling 500,000.
Your building upgrade has completed. Your building upgrade has
More
completed.
people are selling new...
Your building upgrade has completed.
Thank you. More of my competitors are releasing new machines, which is interesting. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to check my marketing spend on here. How's that been reduced? It's not particularly... I'm getting a 12% discount, but I'm selling into more countries. So that means my marketing spend hasn't been increasing. Ooh, look at this. Yellow is taking over some of these countries. Yeah, as they release new computers, they get back some from other companies. Ooh, these are big countries. Peru. Am I selling into Peru? No. You know what? I think I will now. There we go. Now, I'm on 0.9 LP, which means if I go into another country, I will go into a negative LP, which means I'll be charged for that. But to be honest, for 0.1 of a logistics point, that charge is not going to be great, is it? It's not going to be huge. So, okay, let's pick Libya. I don't want to go into Libya. I want another red country. Brutal, you're in Guatemala. It's not very big. Let's have a look at our market list once more. Republic of China. You're not too bad. Tanzania. Okay, that's not Brutal, but let's go in there anyway. Tanzania, logistics. We'll put 1 point in there. Okay. Now I'm going to get this bubble popping up here saying that I don't have enough logistics points, which is true. I am being charged for that. And that will appear when I put that in there. You can see there, 3,500, 4,000 is my current charge for that. That's tiny, isn't it? It's tiny.
You have researched a new technology.
We've now got BIOS with jumpers. Right, well, I'll definitely be waiting until we get the 6 micron technology so we can reduce our costs further. I think we're doing rather well. We've got 82% of the market. How are we doing compared to our competition? Yeah, they're all struggling basically. They are all struggling. My share, brutal, is down to less than 10%. Yeah, this is a good result. I should be able to afford another logistics office in the US, I think, here, shouldn't I? You see, this scrolls down here when you scroll within the data panel. It'd be nice if you did that in all of the dialogue boxes. So let's build that. It's going to cost me 175,000 a day. I can probably afford that. And that will give me another 4 logistics points, so I can go into more countries and decimate more of my competition. Awesome. Let's have a look at these other computers that Cheap and Great and Brutal have released. Did Afari release one? Yeah, Afari released one as well. Is that you? Yes, it is. So how are you guys doing compared to me? You're really not. Really, really not. They're only competing on price. That's fine. I'm just sat here making loads and loads of money. Even with, I should have stayed on that panel, even with
Your
a
building
mere
upgrade has completed.
medium marketing campaign. Oh, we've learnt something here. This is the marketing thing we've learnt. Radio isn't terribly important to the casuals in our market area. That's fine. Okay, now our factories burst into life again, so I lost money briefly there as they're filling our stockpile. That should change shortly, he said, hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. It starts going down again now. That's fine. When demand is... I'm still overproducing, but that's fine. We're back into the profit. We've got 3.9 logistics points. Where can I spend those now? Let's go to a few more countries. Morocco. I had a very interesting holiday in Morocco. If you ask, I will tell you. Yeah, it's a fascinating. I did enjoy my time in Morocco, but yeah, it was an interesting holiday. There you go. Algeria. Okay, yeah, we can go there. And Afghanistan. My only concern about Afghanistan is it might close its borders to us, and that means I'll lose that logistics point. I could go to Kenya instead. Kenya's got a troubled history as well. Their tax rate is lower, their reseller cut at least anyway, so yeah, let's go there as well. That's fine. I'm down again to 0.9 logistics points, and I'm taking over more of the world. 83% of the global market. Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya. Yeah, where's that other place I went? South Africa. They're all coming home to Pro Deck. And I think that's where we'll leave this episode for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Computer Tycoon. If you've enjoyed this, it'll be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Even better if you've got anything to say, any hints or tips, suggestions or criticism, anything you feel like saying about what I'm doing with the game or indeed the game itself, please do just drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. Always good to hear from you. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel,
a new technology.
We've got 6 micron. We're going to have the 8080 fairly soon too. Gosh, the next episode is going to be interesting. A proper CPU chip. Yeah, so... but if you've not already subscribed, you could do that now. That way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play videos. But for now, here in Computer Tycoon, until the next time, bye-bye for now.